Record.
Right, I had 10 viewers asking me to make a video about my 3 businesses and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet and all the rest of it because, well, you don't want a boring video. And I don't really do boring videos anymore. So basically, when you have 3 businesses and you've got all your money tied into one, or you've got your money tied into 2, sometimes, I mean, I look at the cash machine and I go, oh, you know, good money or whatever, 8 grand, 10 grand, you know, or 10 quid spare or 20 quid spare or whatever. We have to bear in mind is your money has to stay within your businesses. The money has to spread around. Sometimes you have half the money that goes into one business, another business. And then if you have a 3rd business, the money has to go into that one too. So really, you don't really have enough money. Plus, you have to pay bills, you know, things like electricity, water, gas, the rest of it. Also, you have to pay things like rates, depending on whatever. And most of my companies are in high rate or very high rate places, which can be good or bad. Now, we have always paid high rate for, I would say, about 5 years. We used to pay middle rate when we just had the building company. But when you know when you move offices and all the rest of it, you know, you pay all different rates and stuff, and technically, you don't want to be paying cheap rates for businesses. You know, because you'd still have to make more money. I mean, you can just about easily lose the money as gaining it or keeping it. And you have to realize certain companies don't make as much. Digital companies, for example, through the lockdown, made a lot of money. That wasn't because they were online, but it was because people were going to those companies first. And, you know, and they were giving them what they needed, a necessity. You know, it was essential for the companies to go to an online source. And that's where they made the money. Things like server companies, email companies, all the rest of it. But they only made that money for a short while. Have you noticed that a lot of Bitcoin companies, a lot of BitTorrent companies are going bust because the Bitcoin is deflating, and you know, all these cryptocurrency companies, yes, they're getting a lot of money. They're still, you know, the company's still worth a bit, but the money they have isn't worth anything now because it's, you know, and I think in years to come, the Bitcoin will be the way to go because it's cheaper. So whereas the actual pounds and pence inflate, the actual Bitcoin rate will deflate because people will invest in physical money because everybody's using physical money. And they know where to get it from and they'll invest in that money. You know, you buy money, you invest in that money, and it moves around, whatever. And this is where, now, I just want to briefly touch on this, right? Gambling for fun can be fun, can be stupidity. But then you have serious gambling, which isn't fun, you know, per se. It's, you take a chance. Things like the stock market, things like the heritage funds, all that is gambling, but you're doing it seriously, taking a chance, a win-win chance. And a lot of people don't like the fact. But you have to play the game, you know? Because it's like this. If you lose, so if you put 10, you know, 20 pounds, whatever, 10 pounds, you lose. But if you put it in a premium bond or something and it makes the money, then what do? You invest it somewhere else and move it somewhere else. And then that money makes more money. Now, for a Bitcoin to make something, you'd have to invest that Bitcoin into money. And that's how you make the more money. And it's, a lot of people would say that's evil, but money's not necessarily the root of all evil. It's what people do with the money, and it's what people want is the root of all evil, the root of all necessity, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, and people fight for it, you know. But, you know, when you build an empire, you need money. You need a good, strong investment. You can't hide behind a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. You can't hide behind a big house. Those people that hide behind big houses are still living in trailers. They're not living in Hollywood Hills. They've not gone from this cheap caravan to this massive house. They're still living in that shit. They're still living in the shit they came from. Because basically, even though I have all my companies of pretend, I spent the time in making those companies happen. Took me 10 years. Oh, I should say 20 years. But, you know, you go down for a bit and you go up for a bit. And you build and you lose and you whatever. And sometimes you fail. But you should never set yourself to fail. These get-rich-quick thinkers are setting themselves to fail because they think, well, if I cut a corner, I might make a bit of money here. Well, actually, no, you won't. You might make something, but, you know, you'll make a loss if you cut a corner. You know, if you don't work hard on it, or if you don't take time on it, then yeah, you're gonna make a loss immediately. You know, you'll always, your first corner that you cut, you'll always lose. That's, you know, you just know it. You jump a corner, you lose money. First corner. The only way you can jump a corner is if you know by at least when you get to the second corner, if you know when you're cutting that corner, you know you're cutting that corner, and you know you're taking a chance, you know, and you're taking a big chance. Because, you know that this corner you're going to cut is a big one. And you know something's going to come out and, you know that something's going to come and really bite you on the ass, basically. But if you've got an idea, or if you've got an idea and it's working, don't drop that idea. I had a friend who had a record shop. I've told the story probably a gazillion times. But he had a record shop, and instead of going, I've got this record shop, I'm going to keep this record shop, and it's gonna make me success. I'm going to keep this project. No. He ditched the record shop, and I mean, I don't know what he's doing, but obviously life for him, it's going his way because he decided to go, take another route. But I don't know, he took on a management role and then things just went for a down spiral. Instead of just having his record shop and going the way he should have gone, he went another way. He sort of decided, no, I'll make a U-turn, then cut this corner. It doesn't work like that. You can't just go, well, I'll cut the first corner, then I can do a U-turn. I can go back to that corner that I tried to cut and then go back and cut it again when I know, no, it doesn't make that chance. Doesn't, you cut the first corner, and if things are going good, or if you know things are going good, so right, okay, I'm going to cut this corner now, whatever, I'm going to make this money, I've got my record shop, I can go further. No, instead of doing that. But obviously, you've got to take chance of things. If you got a small business and it's doing well, don't close it and go somewhere else. Wait until something happens. Wait. It'll take its time, but don't go, this has come up, I'll go somewhere else. Because that won't work out for you. And a lot of people do it. I see small cafes. They're a pure example. They'll go, we'll do this. In actual fact, it might not work out for you. If you're going, I want to be a bar and restaurant, and I'll extend and I'll be a bar and restaurant. It's going to work out for you. There is lots of bars and restaurants, but that's your trade, and you're best doing extending to further and doing what you do. But there's a lot of people that go, I could stand it here and that, everything like that, but it's making the trade. And take your community with you. Don't leave your community hanging, because I've seen people close their shops, I've seen people close their cafes, I've seen it happen, and they say, I'm sorry, we're going, it's been fantastic, but we got to go, things are better. Where? And what are you doing with your workers? Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there because I didn't really want to make this a long video, but I just wanted to make this video because I know people do ask. And so I make this to the people who ask.
2 notifications. Bigger live. Now. Within 3 miles. J Moneybag. Dwa Banded Wad of American Dollar. Artist name. Mike Lock. Finish recording.